In this video, I'm going to talk through the theory of relative age effect and explain how we can use it to improve your talent development program. Most sports use an age category system, working from year to year, so someone born in January and someone born in December can be put into the same age category, even though they're actually 11 months apart. This is where the relative age effect theory comes in. The theory was originally pioneered by Robert Barnsley and splits the year into 4 quarters. The first having the older athletes in, and the fourth having the younger athletes in. The theory is that the athletes that are less developed in the fourth quarter tend to get missed by talent programs because they're simply smaller, not as fast and not as strong as the athletes in the first quarter, who seem to be the ones that always get selected. This is where the problem lies for talent development programs. If we're constantly putting money into these athletes in the first quarter, ignoring all the others in the lower quartiles, then we're missing potentially almost 50% of our potential athletes who could make it to the top level simply because they're not quite as developed as other athletes. Studies show that in the younger pathway programs, athletes tend to be from the first quartile age groups, but then as it goes along, athletes tend to come from the fourth quartile. So why is everyone putting money into these first quartile athletes only for them to have dropped out of the sport or stopped progressing, and then putting money into the younger athletes? Surely there's something wrong with that. The work of Gibbs, Jarvis and Defer, which looked into Canadian-born NHL hockey players, found that there was a surprising relative age effect reversal that occurs from junior leagues to the most elite level of hockey play. Another study which supports these conclusions is the work of Thompson and Barnsley, who showed us that baseball, whose little league starts later than hockey's, had less of a relative age effect than hockey did. This is because the children who take part in hockey have had less time to develop than the children who take part in baseball. Therefore, the development gaps between the quartile ages isn't as big. So we know what a relative age effect is and why it's happening, but how can we use this information to make our talent development programs better? One major thing we can do is cut down our talent pools later. If as humans we're developing well into our 20s, then surely we can only see someone's true potential at that age. We should take away selection of riders onto the Olympic Development Academy program for the ages of under 14 and 16, and instead put the money and resources into expanding the RSR program to take in more riders throughout the year. This will result in more riders getting the valuable knowledge and coaching time that they need to develop as athletes. Instead of having a few riders getting a great deal of support, we'll have more riders having slightly less support, but this way everyone gets brought along the development continuum rather than a select through. This gives us the time and opportunity to see which riders are going to develop later, and therefore it will combat the relative age effect. Secondly, we need to assess the method in which athletes are chosen for these programs. Currently, British Cycling are getting better at this. However, there are definitely improvements to be made in terms of selecting riders with development in mind rather than short-term results. So in conclusion, the relative age effect can cause you to miss a great deal of quality athletes simply because they're less developed than their bigger peers. So when creating your own talent development system, you should keep as many athletes in your program for as long as your funding will allow. This will mean you're less likely to miss the late developing gold medal athletes. Thank you for watching.